What up, peeps and peepettes? MorbTron back to more Destiny 2, and today we are taking a second look at the Hero's Burden, which is an SMG that you can get now during the Iron Banner 6v6 week event thing that is happening until the 23rd of April. But this thing is a Season 1 weapon that I did sort of half review on console, but I hadn't really gotten my review system down yet. But now that I do, and now that I finally got it on console just yesterday, or on PC, sorry, just yesterday, I figured I'd take a second look at it, because this thing is, it's pretty good as far as SMGs go. There's another SMG that's nearly identical to this thing that you can get from New Monarchy, but we'll go over those two in a bit here. But it is a 900 RPM archetype SMG, which means it is an adaptive frame. It's got a couple different options for the sights. The best one, the one that I use, is the SPO-26. You lose some handling with the SPO-28 front, plus it's a medium zoom scope. You do get some range out of it that way, but you're going to be using it in very close quarters, and if you're aiming down sights, it's going to be in very close quarters. So SPO-26 is for me. You do lose a little bit of range if you go with the SLO-10 post. So that's why I prefer the SPO-26 front. But then it does have high caliber rounds, and it has threat detector, so increased reload speed, stability, and handling when enemies are in close proximity. Now, the increased stability and handling when enemies are in close proximity is great in the Crucible. Reload speed, not so much. If you're reloading and an enemy is right next to you, you're probably going to have a bad time. But stability and handling, good perks to have. Then high caliber rounds, basically just the sugar coating on this thing. Gives you a little bit more range out of it, and a little bit of flinch on the bullets. Definitely helps. And then we've got drop mag, if you want to go with that, to give it faster reload. But the reload, honestly, is pretty fast already. Not really necessary. Now, this thing has a cousin called the Royal Dispensation 2. Now, this one you'll see here, I've only used it a tiny bit in the Crucible. It dropped with a Crucible Masterwork on it. As far as SMGs go, I tend to enjoy kinetic SMGs more than energy SMGs. I don't know why, it's just a personal preference. A lot of the weapon descriptions and things of that nature, like, there isn't a lot separating one weapon from another in Destiny 2 when it comes to weapons in the same archetype. A lot of it just comes down to feel, and how you are able to use the weapon, and so that's why I tend to use more kinetics, because I can then have things like the Heart of Time or Jorum's Claw in my secondary, or even more so the Darkest Before, or my new favorite Crucible Scout, the Metronome 52. But that is another video in and of itself. Hero's Burden versus Royal Dispensation 2. You'll notice they are in the same archetype. They have the same magazine size. They're both, of course, adaptive frame SMGs. The stat differences you can see there. The Royal Dispensation 2 has a little bit more stability, whereas the Hero's Burden has a little bit more of everything else. So a lot of it's going to come down to what perks the weapon has. And what you'll notice is that the Royal Dispensation has high caliber rounds. You can choose between steady rounds as well, but it has high cal, and just comparatively between the two. And then it also has Grave Robber, so melee kills reload a portion of the magazine. Now, in the Crucible, when you're using an SMG, you're probably going to close the gap while shooting, and then finish with a punch. You might shoot them to death, but I generally, when I'm using an SMG, will finish with a punch. So there we go. Grave Robber reloads a portion of the magazine. If you don't finish with a punch, you'll probably want to use Hero's Burden. If you do finish with a punch, you're probably going to want to use the Royal Dispensation. Now, I'm going to kind of go over the differences between the two. So I'm going to stand right here. I'm going to aim down sights. I'm going to fire and not try to control the recoil. There we go. So, aiming at the same spot. Let's switch. I know I'm wasting a bunch of ammo doing this, but oh well. Not much of a difference. So really, like I said, it comes down to the last stat, or the last perk, trait. Do you want Threat Detector, or do you want Grave Robber? Now, with Grave Robber, it does, like, give you ammo when you get a kill with it. It doesn't take it out of your reserves, so it's a way to conserve ammo as well. Not only are you not getting the killing blow with a weapon, saving you some bullets, but also, it literally generates ammo for you. And I know I am talking up one SMG while literally reviewing a different one. But I think it's the two weapons are so similar that if I didn't mention if I didn't mention the Royal Dispensation in this video, I think I'd be doing you all a disservice. So personally, I enjoy the Royal Dispensation more, just purely for the fact that it has Grave Robber. The two weapons are nearly indistinguishable otherwise. So, if you have one, do you need the other? Not really. You know, this weapon is masterworked. My Royal Dispensation isn't. So, and this one dropped as masterwork. But honestly, if I had the masterwork cores, oh, I do technically, I have 17 right at this very second, would I make either of them masterwork? And the answer to that is no, I wouldn't. And the reason for that is, like I said before, I tend to use my longer range weaponry in my energy slot, and my close range weaponry, or my mid to close range weaponry, as my kinetic. So I'll have like a hand cannon or an SMG, or sometimes an auto rifle, but mostly either usually a hand cannon or SMG in my primary slot, and then a long range weapon like a scout or a pulse, or sometimes an auto rifle depending on what I'm doing, in my energy slot. So there you have it. But let's get into some Iron Banner. Hopefully the queues and everything aren't as bad as they were yesterday as far as like finding a match goes, but we'll see. Alright, so we're loading into Vostok, which ordinarily I would say hell to the yeah. But right now, using only an SMG,
Iron Banner.
It's gonna suck. Oh look, we only have 4 people in 6v6 Iron Banner. How many does the enemy team have? 6. Neat. Love it. The loading issues, where people are getting error coded. Bungie just tweeted that they fixed it. They clearly have not. So let's stick as a team and let's rotate. I'm of course not in voice comms with my team, but yeah.
You captured Zone C. Zone advantage is yours. Zone A lost.
Yeah, that's bound to happen. We're just gonna get mobbed and run over.
Zone C lost. Opponent made a power play.
They're just going to run away with us now, because they have 2 more people than we do. There's like nothing I can do about this. And I burned to death. Cool. Alright, I can at least maybe go grab his power ammo.
You look pleased. Zone A lost. Your opponent has a power play.
Of course they have a power play. They're always going to have a damn power play right now.
Zone B captured.
I accidentally used... And he killed me with his feedback fences. Oh, look, all 5. Oh, there's 5 of them there. Why wouldn't there be? Why wouldn't they just mob around? Oh, now it's a 6v6. Maybe we can actually get some real gameplay in now. If it weren't for the loading issues that people are having that's keeping them out of the game, this game mode would actually be fun. But because of how terrible the loading issues are right now, like the video I made yesterday, kind of explaining what I feel about, you know, the 6v6 Iron Banner, I did make a note of the issues people are having just getting into the matches. But now it is like people are just not queuing for Iron Banner on PC, because why would you want to deal with this? So it literally takes me like 5 minutes to find enough people to get into a match, and it takes me 3 minutes to attempt to load into it. I have never been error coded myself. How did that not kill you? But there's always at least 2 or 3 people per game that get error coded when I go in. And as far as this SMG goes on Vostok, it's not going to play out very well. I mean, it's an SMG. It does its job. Now, personally, I don't really ever use energy SMGs. I don't know what it is about them. But I've always used kinetic SMGs. I like my Atalanta D. I know a lot of people use the Antelope, or the Antiope D, but I like my Atalanta the most.
You captured Zone C.
You know, a slower rate of fire SMG might be more my shtick. But as far as... oh, no. No, I'm dead. Yeah.
Zone C lost.
Definitely liking, not close quarters combat when it comes to... ugh, my game just like totally derped. I don't care about your, I do not care about your little shield, bro. You're going down.
Zone A lost. Your opponent has a power play. Zone C captured. You captured Zone B. Zone advantage is yours.
Got him. I don't care if I died. I feel good about myself. Go ahead and at me if you actually don't do that. I feel bad. I camped the rocket and killed myself. That was terrible.
Zone B lost.
Let's just put that there. Let's do one of those.
That's 2. Your lead grows sharper.
Ow! That's not very fun. That guy's name is Square Weird Eye. Alright. Square Eye.
Zone C lost.
Goodbye. That's about the best encounter you can have with an SMG right now. You hit him in the head a couple of times, then you punch him in the face. No.
Your opponent pulled ahead.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
You look pleased. You're pulling
Goodbye.
ahead. Zone B captured. Zone advantage is
We might win here. So this SMG is good. The other SMG that I mentioned at the beginning of the video is better the way that I use SMGs. So, I mean, is this the end-all be-all for SMGs? Nope. Hi, how you doing?
Zone A lost.
But it is definitely pretty good. Because it has high cal rounds, and you can do some damage with it. Oh, I'm dead. I'm dead because I couldn't hit him with my punch. If I would have been able to punch him, I would have been able to throw him off a little bit, but... oh well. We may win here, we may not win here. Let's just do one of these. No, bro. That's not gonna happen, sorry. And sorted. Cool. Glad I can give him more sword ammo, too.
Advantage is yours.
Guy's name is Suicidal Shoe. Well, I'm about to shove my foot right into your nethers. Glad he's dead. Glad he's dead.
Show them what you can do.
I missed him with my rocket launcher. At least he didn't get ammo. Alright. We only need a couple more kills. Looks like 2 more kills currently.
Zone B lost.
Now we need 4 more kills. Got him. With a punch. We need 2 more kills. The enemy team needs 3. We need to take back a zone. Hey, we win. Fun. Good times. I had a blast. And that's actually gonna I would do more games to try to get a better result. But honestly, with how long it takes to find a game and then load into a game and then hopefully like the game isn't completely one-sided. Granted, it was completely one-sided there at the beginning. But it got better. So, like I said in the beginning of the video, comparing the thing to the Royal Dispensation, they're very, very close. So, I mean, one or the other, they have the same amount of rounds in the magazine, they have the same RPM. The Hero's Burden has a little bit more range on it, a little bit more handling, a little bit faster reload, but the Royal Dispensation has more stability. You know, the Hero's Burden has Threat Detector, but the Royal Dispensation has Grave Robber. So, Grave Robber works better for me. But in the end, they're so very similar. I mean, they're both good. Personally, though, when it comes to SMGs, I like my SMGs to be kinetic. And then have something like a pulse rifle or a scout in my energy slot. But, take it as you will. That's how the weapon performed. It does its job. It does its job pretty well. Close range, it's hard to find anything better. I mean, take your pick, Royal Dispensation, Hero's Burden, like sidearms, whatever. I mean, it's a gun. There's not a whole lot right now separating one weapon from another. Even like sidearm to SMG. I mean, they're both going to be capable in anybody's hands, and that's kind of where we sit with the game right now. The meta, I mean, there is a quicker time to kill. There's always going to be a fastest time to kill weapon out there, but a lot of it is coming down to preference at this point, which is amazing. So if you like SMGs, if you like Threat Detector, and you like hand caliber rounds, then the Hero's Burden is for you. Definitely, if you're interested in it, you can get it this week. So farm your little faces off for it. That is going to be the end of this episode, so if you liked it, please leave a like. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. If you have anything to say at all, so the comment section is for. Do not forget to have a good day, everybody. I'll catch you all next time.